mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on the way. Yeah, it's all hard, ain't no fear here. You ain't giving this to all, you steer clear. Never beat, I've been down and I reappear. You got some money on the line, you better put it here. 'Cause I be on the way.
All right, welcome to the Fantasy Six Pack 2023 Fantasy Football Team Previews. I'm Joe Bond, founder of FantasySixPack.net. With me, joining me this time is Mike Bonni. How's it going, man?
Good, how about you?
Oh, hanging in there, getting ready to talk some exciting Cleveland Browns.
Woohoo!
Did I just say that out loud? No, for real. But anyway, before we jump into that, I just want to remind everybody to hit that subscribe button, leave those comments. We appreciate it. And, of course, go to fantasysixpack.net/plans to become an all-access member. You're going to get access to our award-winning fantasy football rankings. You're going to get access to our draft cheat sheet, our projections on the season, our betting content, our DFS content, and best of all, you get access to all of the analysts over here at Fantasy Six Pack, where you on our Discord channel, where we answer your custom league questions to help you dominate. So, without further ado, let's jump into our Cleveland Browns preview. And we're going to be starting off here with our quarterback room, which is going to get interesting. So Mr. Deshaun Watson here. And so we've got, Deshaun here. And, like, take away obviously all the bad of what we know of Deshaun Watson, yep. Right? Still a fairly, what we think is a very talented quarterback, right? Struggled a little bit last year on the season as he came back from the suspensions. Didn't really feel like he was clicking with the team. I don't think he had a good game the entire season, let's be real. Outside of a random 3-touchdown game against...
I was going to say, yeah.
But, like, it still wasn't good. I mean, 169 passing yards. It was pretty ugly. Like, it was just a weird game. Like, they just scored.
Yeah, weird, huh?
I mean, 9 for 18, 169 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's not very typical.
That's not right.
No, so I really don't know what to think about Deshaun coming into the season. I mean, the ceiling is obviously crazy high with him. Are you comfortable taking a chance on him as a QB1 coming into the season?
I would like to think whatever his little deal was last year where he couldn't complete passes, it was at 58%. It's going to come back to what it normally is, which is in the mid-60s. That should help him instantly just get more yards, get touchdowns, stuff like that, help him in his fantasy finish. Because his rushing floor is obviously going to stay what it was. I mean, in his limited time, he's still 10th in carries per game, 12th in red zone carries per game, 11th in rush yards per game. So he's going to rush the ball, obviously. And hopefully his passing comes back to where he can finish in the borderline QB 12 range. But there's quite a few quarterbacks I'd rather have over him, to be honest.
Yeah, I think his ceiling is high. I do have him ranked 10th.
Super high. Like, he could be really high, but it could be...
I mean, he's top 5 high. I do have him ranked 10th right now. I mean, I've got him above guys like Daniel Jones and Tua and Rodgers and Geno Smith. I mean, all guys who have question marks themselves, all guys who,
Tua's the big one. Like, if he can stay healthy, obviously I would want Tua over Deshaun. But, again, weird situation for him, too.
Yeah, I mean, one bad hit, he's done. And probably done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, he falls into that range where there's a lot of question marks with everybody. And so do you just take the chance on Watson and then if you miss, play the waiver wire game? Sure.
Make sure you get back a quarterback.
I mean, you could take Cousins And, you'll probably get a top 12 quarterback at the end of the year, but he's also he's going to have weeks where he's QB 25. He's going to have QB weeks where he's QB 3. That's what Cousins does. So good luck.
You want to find that consistent quarterback, and with Deshaun Watson's rushing, it could be him if his passing all comes together too.
Yeah. Now it will be interesting to see. I know he's lobbying pretty hard to get Hopkins to come over. So that will be interesting to see if that happens. Weird. But let's move on over to the running back room here. And it looks a little bit different, but the name up top is still the same. So we got Mr. Nick Chubb. Jerome Ford is backing him up. Demetric Felton Jr. and John Kelly Jr. rounding out that room there. No longer are we looking at a Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb split. Not that it was much of one last season, unfortunately, for Nick Chubb, or not Nick Chubb, for Kareem Hunt managers here. Question, though, Nick Chubb's getting up there in age. He's run a lot.
A lot.
Is he still worth his ADP at RB6?
That's a little high for me for a guy who... Granted, it depends on what league you're in, half PPR, but RB6 is a little high for me for a guy who doesn't get much of the receiving work. I mean, he got a little bit more than he's used to last year, but still, his rushing his rushing is insane. He's guaranteed basically 280 carries. He's basically guaranteed 13 to 1,500 yards. He'll get your touchdowns like 5 to 10 or whatever. So he will be an RB1. It just depends. Do you feel safe drafting him over Josh Jacobs or Breece Hall, who, if he's ready by week 1, should easily outperform Nick Chubb, at least in fantasy scoring?
Yeah, so I'm not taking him above Josh Jacobs. I am taking him over Breece Hall. Maybe in PPR, I changed my mind. Now my rankings are half. That's kind of I go with the middle
right.
Ground
Yeah,
there. I got
half
Chubb
PPR. Nick Chubb should be around there.
Look, I mean, you're talking about a guy who has averaged over 5 yards per carry his entire career. Every single season he has played, he's averaging over 5 yards a carry. Sorry, he averaged 5 yards a carry in 2019. So my bad. One season he didn't, but it was still 5, 5 or better every single season. I mean,
dude's insane. He's
just crazy efficient. He's good.
Just like you said, he has a lot of mileage on him now.
He does though, but I mean,
maybe those big guys can handle it.
I was gonna say, I mean, he's 5'11", 227. He's no Derrick Henry big, but he's big.
Right? Yeah.
It's Derrick Henry's got 4 inches and 20 pounds on him. But Nick Chubb's a big dude.
Workhorse type. That's it just seems like they won't get hurt.
I mean, he has been hurt in the past, but again, this is another team who really doesn't have a whole lot behind their running back. We talked about this with Mixon, and so they're gonna lean on Chubb. Watson's gonna take a little bit away from that. Now that they've got a full off season to integrate him into this offense and really get him working. He got a few games under his belt last season. I think that's gonna make a huge difference for Watson. But I do like Chubb. He's about as safe as they come.
I agree.
In that range of, I mean, other running backs you're looking at in that territory, Tony Pollard. I mean, we all like him, but I mean, there is massive bust potential there with him. Najee Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, Patriots running back, right? Who the hell knows? They could go out and sign a Leonard Fournette just to be like, ha, you thought you knew what we were going to do. Come on. Breece Hall, Travis Etienne,
I think Breece Hall, if the news comes out that he's going to be ready around around that time, week 1, week 2, he could be a steal at RB12. That's a different.
He'll probably climb it when that happens. But I like Chubb a lot. I think he's somebody who you can draft and feel very good about going into the season. Now, receiving room here, we've got Amari Cooper, who had a very nice season last year. As somebody who has been a big Amari Cooper hater in his career,
me too.
He really proved me wrong last year. I got him at a massive discount. I've never drafted him except for last year. He's getting drafted
paid off for you.
36 and 38, and I was like, I'll take a chance on him there. And man, did that work. So then we got Donovan Peoples-Jones. We got Elijah Moore coming over from the Jets. Cedric Tillman, David Bell, Marquise Goodwin, and Anthony Schwartz. A lot of receivers. Obviously, Amari Cooper is the one to talk about here. Is he getting disrespected at wide receiver 18 now that he's going to have a full season with Watson?
Yeah, I think he is. We got to mention first that this dude is probably top 3, top 5 route runner in the league. He is always open. If you look at him, he should be always open, unless he's taking his play off, which he likes to do sometimes. That's probably his one knock on him. But, I mean, finishing as wide receiver 10 with poor quarterback play, to be honest, is pretty impressive. He's been dealing with that, other than the years with Dak, most of his career. 5th in air yards, 3rd in unrealized air yards. He wasn't great great with Watson when Watson came back. He was actually wide receiver 27, but
yeah,
they're probably getting their
chemistry down for sure.
Yeah, their chemistry down. So at wide receiver 18, I'd take him for sure and feel absolutely ecstatic about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got him at receiver 16 right now. Ahead of dudes like Debo and Keenan Allen. I really like Cooper coming into the season.
Keenan, I don't know, but Debo,
I still worry that Amari's going to pull the disappearing act, man, where you just worry he's going to go back to I've got, 3 45-point games and then a bunch of like single-point games. But I finished wide receiver 15. Wasn't I good? No, you really weren't, Amari. Sorry. But last year he stayed a little more consistent. I almost didn't want Watson to come back, and I was dead spot on when it happened. I mean, 6, 5, 7 half PPR points, and then 10. And then, of course, week 17, he blew up for the 224 because he caught 2 touchdowns on 105 yards. And you were like, well, okay, but nobody got there with him. That was finals week for a lot of people. So, but nobody got there with Amari because he killed you in the weeks before that. So, but no, I'd feel comfortable taking him. Obviously, I would want to hear good things coming out of camp. You don't want to hear negative things coming out of camp. You would, a lot of times you don't hear negative things, but you want to see tape of him and Watson, getting on the same page early. You want to see a couple connections in the preseason to make yourself feel a little bit better about it. But I do think Cooper is a talent for sure.
They're hyping up Elijah Moore quite a lot over there too right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've always been an Elijah Moore fan. I think he got the raw deal in New York. I really do. I think they made a mistake letting him walk and not getting him involved. Who knows what was going on in the locker room there, but
that could take away some of Amari's target share. So, I mean, not great, but still, I like Amari.
I still think he needs. I don't think
Donovan probably suffers most.
Amari Cooper, in my opinion, isn't a. I can run the receiving room myself. I could be like an alpha dog number 1. He needs somebody else on the other side to kind of take a little bit of attention away. So Elijah Moore could be good. But let's finish things off here with the tight ends, and we've got David Njoku, Jordan Akins, and Harrison Bryant. Nothing new here. What do we think with Njoku? Now that he's going to have Watson for a full season as well, can he repeat his top 10 finish?
I'd draft him as a top 10 tight end for sure.
Okay.
I think he finally showed that he can stay healthy. That's one big thing. He was 8th in fantasy points per game, 11th in targets. He gets a lot of red zone targets, which we love to see. Big dude, obviously he's going to get the targets. And he didn't necessarily translate that into touchdowns. He only had 4. But hopefully that can go up with the amount of targets he actually gets in the red zone. So yeah, I'd be taking him over your Freiermuths, your Dulcich. Who else is out there around that range?
Chig.
Yeah, I'd take him way over. Yeah,
he's falling into that Ingram, Freiermuth, Dalton Schultz.
He's like he's your tight end you want if you don't get your Kelsey, Andrews, whatever, Pitts.
Yeah, I mean, he saw 80 targets last year, so that's good for a back end tight end here. So I do like it as well. So
18% target share too is also sweet. So yeah.
So that's it for the Cleveland Browns preview. Want to thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and check it out next time.